Welcome back. Well, that was after the governors met with the president, as the APC governors, about the developments in the National Assembly. So when they rose from that meeting with the presidents, they thereafter addressed that conference. Well, we're going over now. We're joined, yes, indeed, there you see. So it was merely after this, then they addressed the conference. Remember, there's been many comments before this point, even yesterday before this eventually broke, where we also did ask, was the president going to meet, shouldn't he meet, why hasn't that meeting happened? But there you go, it has happened. Well, we're focusing on that now. We'll be joined now by Garba Shehu, who is a senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity. Morning, and thank you for joining us. Well, many will say, has it been a long time coming? How did it take that long for the president to eventually meet with the governors and speak up about this matter?
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Thank you all for the work you guys have done. And I want to say that the president's approach, attitude to the entire processes of National Assembly remained consistent, which is that he remained the fray, and that he never had to get personally involved, believing that the parliament is an independent institution protected by the institution over which he has no control. So therefore, even when the governors came, the president, and I sat through that meeting, President mostly listened to what they were saying. And in fairness to them, the governors took responsibility for the way forward. They advised the president to maintain his posture, not to be seen to be meddling in the affairs of the National Assembly, stay above it, allow us to handle it. And I think this is what you saw coming from the governors.
For so many Nigerians, they'll say this new posture, a culture that is new to most Nigerians and even to Nigerian politics, talking about the president's non-interference policy in the affairs of the legislature is something that is also causing this problem to fester. They think it's high time he waved in and discussed matters with the intention of seeing that this is over and done with.
Yeah, well, there are many people who hold that view, even among the governors. It was clear to him and to most of them that in many of the states, no process leading to emergence of leaders of the parliament, get to be done without the governors deciding. In fact, accusations have been made over the years that some speakers were in the pockets of governors. Now, it should be refreshing, and I think a big relief to Nigeria that we have a president who is looking at it in an entirely different way. He will not say, this man will be Senate President, this one will be Speaker, and that's his position.
You're a party man. Looking at this, and also a journalist, someone watching closely and seeing that this is still on, knowing full well that the president has promised Nigerians a whole lot in his first 100 days in office. How has this affected the performance of the executive arm?
Well, we're not there yet, but the president needs a stable parliament, for the success of his legislative agenda. If the parliament is boiling over, it's a stormy, even if it's a flight you're undertaking, it's not a joyful flight when the weather is stormy. But I assure you that the president has his trust in the leadership of the party, and he believes that the party will handle this in a manner that is in the best interest of the country.
No doubt you can see that the governors are worried, just as most Nigerians are. trying to weave in, and still we're getting to see, well, something that they never wanted. All the lists, when we talk about all, the two lists to the two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives from the party, has not been followed.
I believe that the parliament will come to terms with the party. The anger is over. All of that is behind everyone. And the party has said clearly that they are for reconciliation. And it is important for the country and for the party that nobody, no senator from Governor Sarakitu, all of them in the APC, none has said they are not members of the APC. And the caucus held only 2 days ago, all of them in attendance. So therefore, there's a little storm in a teacup. I guess it's a matter of time, and we'll get it done with.
You think, sorry, Nyota, very quickly here, do you think this is a party matter, a grouse with a party, or a grouse with an individual, or maybe a heavyweight in the party? Because it would seem as if no one is listening to the party, or maybe an individual who is trying to be a representative of the party.
In my personal view, I think it would be a grave mistake to reduce it to, the level of individual differences or difficulties. This country is large, is enormously endowed with language, religion, cultures, everything. And some of these underlying currents in our politics, come to terms with it. Sometimes they can project themselves in a manner more forceful than even political party ideology. I mean, let's be realistic about these things. So the things that are playing out go beyond, individual differences. It's about the nature of this country, the geography, its history, and its politics. And I think Nigerians must come to terms with the fact that we are mostly endowed by the diversity, enormous diversity of the country, which is an asset from the point of view of what is going on.
Would you say this the issues with the National Assembly, the leadership tussle, is that they're affecting the president's appointment of ministers and others?
Well, I wouldn't put it to you as simple as you have done so. There are many issues that are before the president, list of among which are matters of national security, the economy, and all of that, corruption, and to which he has devoted a single-minded attention over this period of time. Does the president have a parliament that is stable, that is sitting properly to do its work? I think we're not there yet.
Okay, yes, you say there are a myriad of things confronting the president and thinks he needs to look at, one of them being security. But there are those who would think that having come into the office, realizing that there are a lot of things to deal with, he'll need a team to work with, people he can delegate responsibility to while he sits to have the bird's eye view over the entire picture. So what is delaying the nomination of ministers?
Let me clarify something. One is that I think that the media is not helping the country by being focused on matters of appointments only as being perhaps the most important first step that the government should take. It doesn't follow. This country, by governance, is systematized. I have been amazed by the kind of competency I have seen displayed by some of the permanent secretaries that are leading, government ministries that we're having to interact with in the last, couple of days. point of view of the president, he needs, and he has said it's a campaign issue, this country cannot achieve anything, cannot become anything without resolving matters of its own security. And from what he has done, he's been working and he's given single-minded attention to the issue of national security and to the economy, which has attracted massive goodwill coming from the leading nations in the world. So appointments will be made. People would have to be well chosen. And the president has himself said he doesn't want to have a situation in which he will appoint one man today and he fires him the next week.